At 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 6 tonight. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. A state budget proposal is finally ready for a vote at the Capitol tonight.
Lawmakers released the nearly 900-page budget bill this morning. Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolforce joining us live from the state capitol tonight. Emma, have legislators started discussing this final bill yet?
No, Ben, Jen, the House has still not brought the budget bill up for a vote. And the House chamber behind me actually practically empty right now as Republican lawmakers have gone into closed-door discussions. Now, I am told once the bill is brought up for a vote on the floor, leadership anticipates what could be lengthy debate on this budget bill.
I mean, it's a big document, so you could go 4 or 5 hours with questions, presumably, right? That's very possible.
After weeks of budget negotiation, lawmakers finally put forward a budget bill Monday morning.
Do I wish we could have spent a couple $100 million more? Yes, I do. I think that's where our caucus was, and we thought there were ways to do it.
But Ritter says the final proposal stays under the spending cap and is balanced. The two-year, $51.1 billion budget includes tax relief for residents, like the largest state income tax cut in Connecticut history, and an increase in the earned income tax credit.
Of course, we're going to say it never goes far enough, because Connecticut is a very unaffordable state, but it makes an effort. It's recognizing middle class needs relief.
This budget also provides more money for education, allocating hundreds of millions more than the governor's proposal for CSCU and UConn, as well as an extra $150 million for school funding and $16 million for school meals.
There's no more money in the couch cushions. It's a real document. And that freed up money to be able to go to our nonprofits and go to education. That was important to us.
Both sides of the aisle, though, recognizing a push for more money from various groups like group home workers, teachers, and nonprofits.
We understand that we couldn't give $500 million to every group that wanted it. They respect it. They feel heard, listened to, but they know we can't accommodate everything.
Notably not in this budget, no increase for the pass-through entity tax credit, no child tax credit, or the full amount of funding Governor Lamont wanted to erase medical debt. With Democrat and Republican ideas in this bill, Ritter says he expects Republican votes, but minority leadership isn't as sure.
If we don't have some give on some of those provisions, I think you won't see any Republicans voting for it. But if there's some cooperation today and some conversation, I think we can get there.
And House Majority Leadership will actually be coming out here to give a more detailed update on the budget bill in just a few minutes. And Fox 61's Gabby Bellina is following that, and she will have more details later tonight at 10 and 11. For now, live at the Capitol, Emma Wolforce, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We are on Budget Watch, Emma. Thank you. We have a follow-up tonight after that building collapsed in New Haven Friday. We're told 6 construction workers injured in the incident have been released from the hospital. 2 others are still being treated here, but are said to be in fair condition right now. Officials say the collapse happened in an area where concrete was being poured, and it pooled up too much.
We want to make absolutely sure that something like this never happens again. So in addition to inspecting what specifically happened at this site, the building department is making sure that other sites that have any similar type of construction are inspected.
OSHA is still investigating as of tonight. In a statement, President and CEO of RMS Companies, the developer of the property, said worker safety was the company's top priority.
Well, now to a Fox 61 follow-up. The parents of the Waterbury teen involved in the hit and run officially arrived in Connecticut yesterday morning. The family holding a news conference earlier today to share their thoughts on the incident. Fox 61's Carmen Chow joins us live outside of Connecticut Children's Medical Center with their message. Carmen.
And Jen, the parents say they're not mad at the driver at all. In fact, they actually forgive him. And their focus now is praying for a miracle, hoping that Brian wakes up.
This has sent shockwaves through the community.
17-year-old Brian Kaye remains in a coma since he was hit on his scooter getting off of work 2 weeks ago. His family says his condition remains poor as he recovers from numerous serious injuries. The positive news, Kaye's parents were granted visas for a 6-month stay, but there were challenges along the way.
When this happened, and they were in Ecuador. Their initial attempts to come to the United States were denied. In fact, doors were slammed in their face.
The family's attorney, Ioannis Kaloidis, says Senator Chris Murphy's office intervened and helped speed up the process. Since their arrival Sunday morning, Kaye's parents have focused on praying for a miracle.
He is a young man who came to this country literally to pursue the American dream.
The driver, 58-year-old John Egan, the now former chairman of Waterbury Zoning Commission, eventually turned himself in, facing several charges. The arrest warrant shows Egan had visited multiple bars prior to the incident, consuming at least 16 drinks.
It's feeling sad because they just probably the moment. They don't think about how dangerous the alcohol can be.
Kaye's parents calling themselves people of faith, not holding any anger towards Egan, but only wish he had stopped and called for help.
He don't have any
Bad feelings.
bad feelings. He don't bad feelings of him. He's gonna forgive him. He's gonna pray and forgive for him.
Attorney Kaloidis says claims can be pursued for reckless service of alcohol, but it is not their priority at the moment, but rather shift their attention on Kaye's recovery. Now, the family will be meeting with a team of doctors with hopes to get an update on Brian's condition. I'm live in Hartford. Carmen Chow, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Carmen, thank you very much. Well, we have an update now. Stonington police have made an arrest in connection to a hit and run that killed a beloved local custodian who was riding his bike. Police say 41-year-old Jonathan Olson turned himself in today. He's accused of hitting 70-year-old Gary Piver on Broad Street back in March. Piver was a longtime worker at Stonington High School. He was killed just one day before his birthday. Olson was released on $100,000 bond. He's due back in court next week.
New details tonight. Waterbury police have identified the person who was shot and killed early yesterday morning. Police say 26-year-old Akeem Campbell was shot in the area of North Main and Division Street around 5 a.m. Police say that Campbell's car was found in the road with evidence of gunshots. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. No word on any suspects or any arrests.
All right, let's talk about the weather right now. A cooler start to the week than we're used to.
Yeah, such a change from what we felt in that 90-something degree day on Friday, Rachel. The weather roller coaster, we're on it.
Yeah, it's been one step forward, two steps back here heading into the start of June, and it looks like cooler than average temperatures are going to continue right through the rest of the work week. So we need to settle in and kind of get used to it. Something that I don't know if we'll ever get used to, there is an air quality alert again in effect during the day tomorrow, and this is from wildfire smoke in Canada, not only in the upper levels of the atmosphere, making our sky hazy, but also here close to the ground, reducing air quality. So you might even be able to smell that smoke as we head through the evening tonight. Notice our computer guidance showing a plume of dense smoke moving into Connecticut, first central and western areas, and then overtaking the rest of the state too as we head into the day tomorrow. So that smoky sky will be something that we have to contend with for the next day or more. And meteorologist Ryan Breton will talk more about that in just a little bit. Temperatures are in the 60s to right around 70 degrees, although mid-70s for the New Haven area. For the news at 11, temperatures are dropping into the upper 50s. And as we head towards daybreak, we're in the low to mid 50s for most of the state. So we've got those smoky skies, but a bit bright heading into the morning tomorrow. But we'll see clouds increase with a rising likelihood for a scattered shower or thunderstorm as we head through the afternoon. A bit warmer tomorrow than it was outside today, with highs in the low to mid 70s. And then I think it's cooler for the rest of the week. We'll show you that your full forecast and when we really start to warm up again coming up in just a bit.
See you shortly, Rachel. Thank you. Meanwhile, in Southington, a man is dead after crashing into a tree early this morning. Police say that car crashed into a tree on Meriden Avenue just before 6 a.m. The driver, James McCluskey, was taken to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead. No other cars were involved. Part of Meriden Ave was closed for some time as crews responded to the scene.
Well, Hartford police arrested 11 people over the weekend for illegally driving ATVs on city streets. Police performed the detail Sunday to address a rise in disturbances. The detail resulted in a separate arrest for a stolen dirt bike and another for possession of a firearm with a high-capacity magazine. A fugitive wanted for a robbery was also taken into custody. 11 ATVs were impounded as a result of the detail.
A motorcyclist is in critical condition tonight after a crash involving a Jeep in Middletown. It all happened on Hartford Avenue yesterday afternoon. Police say the motorcyclist sustained a serious head injury. He was airlifted to Hartford Hospital and is now currently in critical condition. The driver of the Jeep was not injured.
Well, officials in Bristol are searching for answers after tires were dumped in a park. City Councilwoman Cheryl Tybalt posting these photos on Facebook. The tires were spotted while leaving Page Park. Tybalt is asking anyone who lives nearby to check their doorbell cameras to try to determine who dumped those tires.
Group home workers were back on strike at the Capitol today. The workers led what they called a revival rally at Emmanuel Lutheran Church, continuing to demand lawmakers pass a moral budget. The group then marched to the Capitol, continuing their call for better pay and affordable health care.
The budget is a moral document, and we need the governor, we need legislators to do the right thing. They can do the right thing, and we're looking for their leadership and not having workers continue to live in poverty anymore.
Dozens were arrested during a protest last week. The more than 1,700 workers first went on strike back on May 24th.
Well, new at 6, Bradley Airport is adding 3 new services to their menu to help passengers have a quick and safe travel experience. Bradley announcing today it was partnering with startup companies to offer these services through pilot programs. The services include FlyPit, which offers solutions to passengers who may inadvertently be traveling with a prohibited item. Simplify, which offers pre-flight and in-flight resources, and SwiftUV, a Connecticut-based company that provides passengers a quick way to disinfect their phones.